Okay, would you rather get a sub 3 but not get into Boston because it was hyper competitive, or would you rather get a 301 but you did get into Boston? That's a good
You
question.
know,
Answer that.
and it's funny because then there's Chicago, which is, I think, a quote unquote nicer marathon to run. You know, the weather, the course itself, there's less history, so it's tough. I'm not sure, but
Which one of those would you
I,
prefer? The faster time but not get in, or the slightly slower time, still a good time, but you did get in?
I think sub three, it's really close, but sub three as a standalone goal.
I hear you.
2:59:59.
Okay, you told me that your goal just changed. The hallucination that I have is that it was sub 3 and then you made it 2:55 today. Did you do that in your mind today?
So what I mean is that if I aim for 3 hours and I fail or I fall short, I'm going to miss. So my kind of like way to hit the 3 hours, sub three, is aim for like 2:53, like I'm going to sort of outsmart the goal. Maybe this is not even realistic, but it's like aim for 3 and I miss, and then I miss. Aim for 2:53 and I miss, and I still get sub three. You go a
Okay.
step beyond the goal. Yeah.
So you're trying to trick yourself. Hey, fine, go ahead. What does that mean though? I'm really curious about this because what does that mean on race day? Does it mean train for a 2:53, or does it mean train the best you can and on race day go out at 2:53, knowing that you're probably going to blow up and at least you'll get sub 3?
Train for a 2:53. So what that means is like, okay, yeah. So breaking it down, instead of trying to get a sub 90-minute half, it's like get a sub 84-minute half, for example. Or
Okay.
instead of getting a sub 40-minute 10K, it's like get a sub 38-minute 10K, and so on down to a 5K, or a mile, or.
Okay.
And those check marks have to be hit before going for the full marathon. I can't just be like, yeah, I got a sub 90 half and I'm just gonna, hope for the best and, head out there on
Yeah.
race day. It's like, that is, to me personally, having seen so many people not hit sub three, that's guaranteed to fail.
Are you open to some feedback on this? I've heard an
Yeah.
incongruency here.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally.
Okay. About 10 minutes ago or 20 minutes ago on our call here, you said that you were talking about your weakness, and I asked you, what would you need? And you said to have faith in the process. Faith in the process. You told me that's what you need. But your plan is to train for a 2:53 without faith that it's going to work. You actually believe that it's going to fail. It'll just fail beyond the 3-minute mark, the 3-hour mark, so that you'll get the thing you want. So you want to have faith. So you're going to train in a way where you don't have faith that it's going to give you, if you train for a 2:53, you should get a 2:53. But you don't believe it's going to work. There's not faith that it's going to work. There's faith that it's not going to work. But if you shoot big enough, when you fail back, you'll hit the goal you really want. So there's an incongruency there. I hear what you're saying. It's awesome. I'm not like picking on you here. I just am highlighting two things that you said. I don't care. Two things that you said that don't mesh. Is training for a 2:53 thinking it'll probably fail and you'll run a 2:58? Is that faith? I'm not leading you here. Maybe it is, but to you, is that faith?
I think it's definitely less faith than training for 2:59. But where I'm coming from is that I've seen so many examples of people just missing the aim by, 3:07, the course, all of these factors that come into it, So for example, I can run I can run a 3-hour marathon, right? On pretty much any course. But let's just say the weather's off, the elevation is difficult, I have some life stress. That's gonna more than likely I'm not going to run my perfect race. So to give me that kind of, let's just say, wiggle room, that's why I'm setting the goal a little bit further, setting a higher goal than because for example, Boston, it's like if you can run 2:59 at Boston, you can probably run, 2:55 at Chicago, for example.
Maybe. Maybe true, maybe not, but it's just a belief because remember, 2011, first three guys under the world record. Because Boston's a net downhill course, and there's the possibility of a tailwind the entire way. Chicago's not a net downhill course. Boston can be fast. Look, maybe for some people, like maybe Chicago's faster, but I'm just saying it's a belief. It's not necessarily true. The proof is in the pudding. Three guys under the world record in 1 year on Boston.
Yeah, I guess just in my more recent memory, London's faster. Kipton did it faster there. And sure. Yeah, just going by the more recent times. So this is, I guess, where I have to do more research and more reflection and more thought about like the kind of actual.
Well, if you want to run the fastest race possible, it should be pancake flat or downhill. Certainly not uphill. So Chicago's pancake flat, Boston net downhill, but Heartbreak Hill, which isn't that big of a deal, by the way. It's not that big of a hill, but a lot of people. There's a reason why people blow up at Boston. We don't need to go into that here unless you want, but there's a reason. They don't train the downhills in their legs and they go out too fast the first 5 miles downhill, shred their quads, and then they can't milk the last 5 miles. That's the short answer. But you're defining success as failure. I'll fail at the 2:53, but be successful because I ran under 3. It's interesting. The plan is to fail. But I don't think you really think you'd be failing. You'd still feel good. So it means that, is that true? You would still feel good. It's not a failure. If you trained for the 2:53 but ran a 2:58, is that a success?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So if that's true, then the incongruency comes in the training, the mindset in the training, not the racing. And it comes in saying that you're training for a 2:53 because you're not. You're training for the 2:58. Why do we say we're training for the 2:53? So it's not semantics. It sounds like, oh, who cares? Just do the harder training. No, it really matters because like, what do you believe you're going to do? If you don't believe that you can break a 3, you're not going to do it. If Kipchoge didn't believe he could break 2, and the world record at the time was like high 2:01s, it's a way faster. He knew he could do it. There was no plan B. He knew he could do it, so he did it.
It's almost like a lie I'm telling myself. I'm like, I'm trying to break 3, but I'm going to aim for 2:53. And
that's the lie right there. Because you're not really aiming for 2:53.
It's a fear of not breaking 3. I'm like, the first time I'm going for it, I'm going for sub 3, I don't want to experience the pain that everybody. I feel like to me, just, looking at people's attempts at sub 3, it feels like, 90% of people who go out trying to do it first time fail. And I do not want any part of that. I'm happy to fail in all the other little mini milestones along the way. But then when I actually go for this, sub 3, yeah.
The evidence is where you look for it. The evidence is so if you're looking for the people who missed breaking 3, you will find it, and you will find it in abundance because there are more slower runners than there are faster runners. You can also look, what was Kiptum's debut marathon?
Oh, first marathon ever. It's like 2:04 or something.
No, it was fast. He ran the second fastest time ever. He beat Bekele's time. It was it was the second fastest marathon of all time. It was like high 2:01s or, because the world record was what, 2:01:39, I think. And he ran
it Valencia?
I don't remember where it was. His debut marathon was, I believe, the second fastest in history. And it might have been the third fastest in history, but debut marathon at age 23. I'm just using that as, now that's like, I'm going extreme here. Okay. That was Kiptum. But the belief of people who go for the sub 3, 90% miss it. What about Kiptum? Okay. Well, he's Kiptum, but there's loads of runners who go for the sub 3 and do it. Loads. Everybody who's under 3, which is tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people, they all went for a sub 3 and they got it. So the evidence is there to support that you're right. There's a metric ton of people who want to break sub 3 and they get close and they miss it. There's a ton. There's also a ton of people who want to break 3 and they do it. And they break it by a lot. Hey, I hope you liked that video here. Now, if you want to watch the entire interview, you can click the link down below and watch the whole interview that I did with Ross. And if you haven't picked up your copy of Run Elite, Train and Think Like the Greatest Runners of All Time, go ahead and pick up a copy on Amazon or Audible. I know you're going to love it. It's going to help you smash your times in any race from the 5K to the marathon and the ultramarathon distances. Now, if you're getting something from this video, thank you so much for watching. Do me a favor and click the like and subscribe button. With a small channel like us, it really helps to make even more videos for you. So if you're liking it, go ahead and hit that bell, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.